I'm making a video called Everything I Know About Migraines. I'm someone who's gotten migraines since I was 11 years old. Right before I hit puberty is when I started getting them. I feel like now at the age of 27, I'm finally just beginning to understand really what causes them and what makes them feel better for me. Some people get migraines once a year, some people get them once a month, some people get them multiple times a week, or even have them for days and days and days on end. So all that to say, migraines are really different for everybody. People have different triggers, different cures. Here's what I understand about migraines and how I've started to get a hold of mine. Hopefully this can help someone who suffers from migraines or helps someone who's a partner of someone who suffers from migraines, so you can better understand them and help take care of them when they are in that state of mind. So who gets migraines? From my understanding, a lot of migraines are hereditary and passed down on the X chromosome, so that means they go through the woman's line of the family. 80% of the people who suffer from migraines are women. Other people who get migraines are people who have traumatic brain injuries, some people who have really stressful experiences or PTSD that could trigger them to start getting migraines. What's interesting is there is a pretty strong correlation between people who got car sick as a child and then get migraines as an adult. If you don't get migraines, I would describe it like this. And again, this is for me, so someone else with migraines could describe it in a different way. But for me, it feels like someone took my brain and they put it in a rice cooker or a pressure cooker or some crock pot type thing, and that's what it feels like. That's the best I can describe it. When I have really bad migraines, I think about lobotomies, like the surgical procedure. And I think, wow, that would feel so good right now. If someone could just cut out part of my brain. Obviously, lobotomies are horrifying, but when I have a migraine, yeah, take a chunk out of my brain, please. That would be heavenly. People ask me a lot what causes my migraines. In short, everything. Or at least it feels like everything. Again, this is for me, and it's different for everyone who gets migraines. When I first started getting them, they were very tied to my hormones. I would get them once a month at a specific time in my cycle. Weird weather is another trigger for me. It has to do with the barometric pressure changing. For example, really overcast days where the clouds are just kind of hanging in the sky and then it finally rains at night. Those are the worst days for me. Really humid summer days too, I have a hard time with. I get a lot of migraines in August specifically. Alcohol is also a huge trigger for me. I basically don't drink at all anymore. Regardless of what I drink, clear liquor, wine, organic wine, beer, whiskey's like poison to me. I can have maybe one light beer occasionally, but it's not even really worth the risk for me. People also get triggered by food. I know someone who doesn't touch blue cheese because it is such a clear trigger for them. Okay, now this is the big thing. Stress. It's not because the stress specifically caused them, it's because it lowers the threshold for me to get migraines. I think I got most of them. Hormones, changes in weather, traveling, motion can still cause it. There are definitely more. If you have other triggers, put them in the comment section. And subscribe! That's dumb. Now the fun stuff. Drugs. Ibuprofen. I take a lot of it. For most people who get migraines, just taking some ibuprofen will not help. It's not like a normal headache. Popping two of these and making your headache go away would be a dream for most people with migraines. But it does ease a little bit, so that's worth having on hand. I take sumatriptan, which is a pretty common prescription migraine medication. There is a generic brand, so you can get it very reasonably priced. I try not to take it unless I absolutely need to because the side effects are unpleasant. Makes you feel kind of dizzy, and it makes my limbs feel tingly. Oh, and it makes me super drowsy. Besides the side effects, it has been a game changer for me. So sumatriptan is good, I guess. I started taking this in October. It's called Nurtec. Khloe Kardashian, I think, is the spokesperson for it. I've learned that it assists in preventing migraines, but for me personally, when I already have a migraine, just taking one of these will not make it go away. I gotta pair it up with these bad boys. It's very common for people to get something called a migraine hangover, which from my experience is just like a second day in a row of feeling really crappy. For me, I've realized that this helps prevent that. It is very expensive though. You cannot afford it without insurance, which is bull. Continuing on the tone of preventative medication, my migraine doctor I've been seeing the past few years recommended I start taking B2 in the morning and magnesium at night. B2 as a vitamin is not sold on its own, or at least I haven't seen it sold on its own, so you have to buy it as something called a B complex. There's a lot of biotin in here, which I think has helped my hair. I don't know if you can tell how beautiful and long it is. And then magnesium at night. I've been doing that consistently for 5 months now, and I think it's helped reduce the frequency of my migraines. So that's worth checking out. Caffeine is huge. I started drinking coffee when I was 11 years old, a cup of black coffee every morning, and it really improved the frequency of my migraines. Caffeine also triggers migraines for some people, so it really depends. Now on to pain mitigation. I like to use Tiger Balm. It's really refreshing. I put it on my temples and my forehead, sometimes on my wrists. It's kind of a bit of aromatherapy as well. It's pretty intense. If you have a migraine though, it can feel very relieving. My mom got this for me. I keep it in my wallet. It's kind of basically a tiny roll-on Tiger Balm thing. Marijuana in edible or smoking form doesn't make the migraine go away, for me at least, but it does help distract me from the pain. If I'm high, things are a little better. I really crave milkshakes and smoothies and ice cream when I have a migraine. It's mostly because when I have a migraine and the cold stuff touches the roof of my mouth, the brain freeze effect actually feels really good. So worth a try. So this is a little metal ice roller I got. I keep it in my freezer, and then when I have a migraine, I roll it on my head like this. I always wanted one of these, and I don't know why I waited so long to buy it. It was $7 from Target. One thing that seems obvious now that I never really realized before is that there are a lot of muscles in your face that are also connected to the muscles in your skull, which are also connected to the muscles here and in your shoulders too. So I, in general, hold a lot of tension here and in my neck. They're super tight. I've gotten into the habit of massaging myself and my face and my skull every morning for the most part. And then I also have this ice pack cap. This brand is Theralice. It looks cool, right? Don't fall asleep with it on. I've done that before and I've woken up with frostbite on my forehead. This is useful if you have a migraine and unfortunately have to keep doing your work and going about your business, and so you need your hands free. Pop this bad boy on, do your thing. I don't use it as much as I used to, which is a good thing. That means I'm getting less migraines. Yay! If you know someone who gets migraines, any of this stuff would probably make a really great gift. I think they would really appreciate these things. Now we're gonna talk about how to act around someone with a migraine. Number one, when someone says they have a migraine, don't say, sounds like it's just a really bad hangover. No, I don't drink because of my migraines. I had a bunch of club soda with lime last night. I wish I was hungover. That means I could drink, and that's fun. Number two, do not suggest something that you heard worked for someone else who gets migraines. The number of times I have said to someone, oh, sorry, I can't do this or that because I have a migraine right now, and their first response was, I heard this worked well for blah, blah, blah. And then they send me the most fucking obscure, random ass article about some type of research that's going on. It's so unhelpful. It's so annoying. If I got $1 every time someone did that to me, I would have enough money to fund proper migraine research. Don't tell me to drink more water either. I drink so much fucking water. I pee constantly. If you're someone whose partner gets migraines and you have to cancel plans because of their migraines, please try not to make them feel bad about changing plans. Please try to encourage them to take care of themselves in whatever way. I guarantee you, we feel bad about it too. Yeah, so if your partner gets a migraine, here's what you could do. You could make sure the blinds are closed and that it's dark. Maybe light a candle to help make the space calm. Bring them some water, bring them some crackers, bring them their medication, roll them a joint, give them a massage. Do these nice things for them and or completely leave them alone. Yeah. If there's something I don't want to do, I'll say, hey, sorry, I have a migraine. No questions asked. I definitely don't abuse it. The number of times that I've actually had a migraine and had to change my plans versus the times I've lied about having a migraine is like 10 to 1. So I really don't abuse that, but it is nice to keep in your back pocket. If your partner gets migraines and you guys feel like canceling plans, I say green light, use migraines as an excuse. Don't use this excuse without checking with them first. Don't just be like, yeah, my girlfriend has a migraine and we can't go, but then your girlfriend actually wanted to go. Don't do that. Communicate. My brain feels like one of those old-timey like walls with valves, like in a submarine or some mechanical thing, and I feel like I'm constantly checking the valves and dials and like trying to maintain not getting a migraine. And that is really exhausting and really frustrating, but also it has forced me to be way more in tune with myself. I feel super, super connected with my body. Any little thing that is making me feel more tired or more stressed or possibly going to cause me a migraine, I'm hyper aware of it and I know how to take care of it. Number two, like I mentioned before, having an excuse to get out of things if I don't want to. I don't use it very much, but it's nice to have. Number three is a little woo-woo, but I feel slightly more connected to the spirit of my grandmother and my great-grandmother because I know that they had migraines and went through similar experiences as me, even though they lived completely different lives. And lastly, my migraines keep me so in check by reminding me constantly that things are out of my control. Sometimes I go to bed and I say, tomorrow I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do these things, I'm gonna be so productive, it's gonna be a great day. And then I wake up and my head feels like it's about to explode. That is very humbling. And it has forced me to be more flexible, to be more gentle with myself, to just generally kind of let things go. Being upset is only going to make things worse. And as I mentioned, there's already a lot of guilt and frustration associated with having to change your plans around your migraines. I've been really trying to reposition my thinking so that now when I get a migraine, it's an opportunity for me to give my body a lot of rest. Maybe get a little high and roll an ice ball around my face. You know what I mean? When else am I going to do that? Maybe right now. All right, this has been everything I know about migraines. I hope it has been helpful to at least one person. Now to play us out, here is a slideshow of famous people who got migraines and were still able to be great.
Hop in that whip, yo, I got places to go. People to see, time is precious. I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind where I'm going, the women, the shorties.